Well, g'day everyone. My name is Dave. Welcome to the YouTube Your Church show, the show where we give you the tips and tricks to help you YouTube your church, and in the process, leverage the second biggest search engine in the world to get your message out to more people. I'm your host, Dave Adamson, and I'm so glad that you are with us today. If you are watching on Facebook, I want to welcome you especially. Welcome to this live stream. If you're watching on my YouTube channel, I want to encourage you to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and leave a comment in the comment section down below. Today, I want to know where it is that you're specifically watching from. That's the first thing I want to know. I also want to know what your role is at your church. Are you a student pastor? Are you the main communicator? Maybe you're the teaching pastor or the lead pastor of your church, or maybe you oversee communications and social media. Whatever it is, I would love to know what your role is at your church. And the question of the day is this: what was the topic of the last YouTube video that you watched? Was it a YouTube specific show? Was it a message from your church? Was it something entertaining? Maybe it was the preview to an upcoming movie or something along those lines. Let me know in the comments the answer to that question. What was the topic of the last YouTube video that you watched? I know for me, I think it was a how-to video that I did watch last. I mean, that's what a lot of us watch YouTube for, right? It's all about finding out how to do certain things, fix things in your house, stuff like that. So if you are watching, make sure you let us know exactly who you are, where you're watching from, what your title is, and what was the topic of the last YouTube video that you watched. Well, we have a big show on today. I say this every single week that this really is the fastest 30 minutes you're going to spend online, because we want to give you as much practical tips as we can that are practical, that you can help YouTube your church. We want to fill this show with as much practical information as we can. And today we have another big show. Let me just go through what's on today's show. First of all, we're going to do the welcome, which I always do. I would love for you to say hello. If you're watching live on Facebook, just say hello in the comments right now. Even if you're watching later on YouTube, or maybe on the Facebook stream later on, let us know who you are, where you're watching from, and what your role is at your church. Then I'm going to talk about how to find key words. Now, last week, we talked on the show about increasing the views that you have on your videos. So if you'd missed out on that one, you can go back through the Facebook feed, or I'll leave a link to it up in a YouTube card. I'll leave it up there right now so that you can go back and see last week's show. That was all about how to increase the views on your videos, and an important part of that was leveraging these things that we call key words. So today, I'm actually going to be talking to you about how you can find key words. These are the words and phrases that you will ultimately use for the title of your videos and in the descriptions of your videos to make sure that your videos are seen by as many people as possible. So make sure you stick around for that. I can't wait to get to that little part. Then we're going to be talking about your questions. I always love to hear your questions on the show. So let us know. What are your questions about YouTube? What is the main question that you have? I've already done a few little research posts through the week, and I've got a couple of questions here, but I would love to answer the questions of anybody who's watching live right now in our Facebook stream. I see that there's a few people already joining us. Jamie Noble Bowman, that's a great name, Noble Bowman. Susan, you're on. Ramon, Susan says, hey Dave, watching from Statesboro, Georgia. Derek Hanson, what's up, Dave? Hey, Derek, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Jordan is joining us as well. I would love to know, guys, if you're watching live, what is your biggest question when it comes to YouTube? Also, tell me, what is your role at your church? Are you a communications pastor? Are you a lead pastor? Are you the social media person? And I also want to know what the topic was of the last YouTube video that you watched. Was it a how-to video? Was it a message? Was it a music video? I don't know. Let me know. I'd love to find out what that is. So make sure you leave your comments in the comment section. So after I go through your questions, I'm going to talk about my channel of the week. That's the channel that caught my attention this week and had me either subscribing or had me watching a whole bunch of their content. Then I go to the video of the week. This is that specific single video that most caught my attention in the past 7 days. Then I'm going to tell you exactly what we're talking about next week. So as I said, we have a jam-packed show on today. Some more people joining us live. I'm so glad that you are here. If you have just joined us, I want you to know that you are watching the YouTube Your Church show. And my name is Dave Adamson. I am your host. Please leave me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what your role is at your church and what was the topic of the last YouTube video that you watched. They're the things I want to know today. Well, as I said, today we're going to be, the main topic that we're going to be talking about is how to increase your views through using keywords, but specifically how you can find those keywords, those words and phrases that are going to help people find your video and that you're going to leverage in the title of your video and also in the description of your video. So we're going to be talking about that today. And this is important because keywords are important because YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world. That's right, it's the second biggest search engine in the world. It's only behind Google, which owns YouTube. So, you know, the biggest search engine in the world owns the second biggest search engine in the world. And basically when it comes to keywords, keywords are specifically those words and phrases that people will write in. Now, the reason keywords become important and the reason it's important for us to know exactly what YouTube is, which is the second biggest search engine in the world, is because the statistics around YouTube are absolutely incredible. Here's just a few of them right now. YouTube has 2 billion monthly active users. 85% of people who are online use YouTube every single day. So that's 85% of people who are active online use YouTube every single day. When it gets into age groups, 95% of Gen Z use YouTube, and 50% of Gen Z say they can't actually live without YouTube. I mean, this is a reality in my house. I have 3 kids who are all in Generation Z, and they literally would say they couldn't live without YouTube. They are on it every single day. It's the thing they watch most. They watch it more than they would watch regular TV or even movies. They're watching YouTube videos. Even this morning, just before school, the girls got online and they watched a YouTube video from the band BTS because they wanted to keep up with an album release. So even bands now are recognizing that when they leverage the power of YouTube, they get access to a much broader audience. So, you know, there's just some of the stats. Here's a couple more that I pulled out. 67% of millennials believe they can learn anything they need to know about life from a YouTube video. I've got to say, I'm not a millennial, but I totally agree. I think I can learn everything I need to know about life from a YouTube video as well. 78% of US male adults use YouTube. Now, for me, this is a really big and important one because most churches are trying to reach US males. Here in the US, we're trying to reach male adult. And so to leverage YouTube is a really important part when we see that 78% of US male adults use YouTube on a regular basis. And then over 3 million videos are viewed on YouTube every single minute. And I think my 3 daughters probably make up at least 1 million of those videos by the amount of times that they watch YouTube. It is absolutely incredible. We've got a couple of comments coming in. Thank you so much. I think it's Raymond. Susan's put some stuff in there as well, that she's the communications director at her church. Okay, so we're talking specifically on today's episode of YouTube Your Church about how to find keywords. Now, a lot of people ask me, what exactly is a keyword? So I want to let you know that a keyword is the word or phrase that matches what someone is typing into the search bar of their search engine. So if somebody goes onto Google and you want to ask Google a question, whatever you start to type into that into that search bar is the keyword or key phrase. Now, these become super important when it comes to uploading your YouTube videos, and finding keywords is a real important part that I think should be taken into consideration before you even upload a video. What is the topic of the conversation? What is the topic of the video that you're about to upload? And if you're leveraging keywords, that helps those videos be found later on. So you want to get on the front end of the keyword search. Now, one of the best, and I think one of the few free tools that you can leverage is Google itself. Google itself will tell you keywords and phrases simply by the way when you start typing something in. We all know what a search bar is. It's that little spot at the top of your internet browser where you start to type the sort of search, the topic that you're searching for. And you can see there, I've started to type in how to read tea. And as soon as I write the word tea, Google starts to auto suggest topics that are popular. So you can see a couple there. How to read the Bible is the number one topic there. How to read tarot cards is and the second one. How to read tire size. How to read tape measure. So as soon as you start to type in that thing that you're searching for, Google will auto populate what it thinks is the most searched for terms around the phrase that you've already started to type in. So that's a great way for you to find keyword titles and descriptions for your videos, and it's completely free. That one I typed in there of how to read the Bible. You can see as soon as I type in how to read tea for it auto populates with the Bible, because that is such a popular search on Google. And this is interesting that as I've typed that into YouTube, if I type that into Google, most of the videos that come up are not from churches and they're not from pastors, yet this is such an important topic, so important that Google has put that to the top of the search phrases that is auto-populating. So imagine if you were a church or a pastor or a ministry, maybe you work for the Bible Society or something along those lines. People are searching for ideas on how they can read the Bible, and you just have to create content that answers that question, and you'll get some great traction. So all you need to do is start typing in the first couple of words of a phrase, and Google will, for free, Google will auto-populate the most popular searches. You can see on this one, I've typed in, how can I find hope? I was on the way to typing, how can I find hope? And you can see that that pops up as the first keyword suggestion. The next one is, how can I find hope in life? So that's a longer keyword phrase, but it's along the same lines. How can I find hope again? How do I find hope? Like, Google has now started to autocorrect some things and is suggesting some other potentially large search options. How do I find hope again? And that one down there at the bottom, how do I find hope in God? I mean, this is the sort of thing that as churches, we are supposed to be answering those questions. And the great thing to know for us as followers of Jesus is that people are actually searching for the answer to the question, how do I find hope in God? So if we're creating content, if our churches are creating content that answers that question, it's more likely that that video will get a lot more views on YouTube, because it is such a highly searched for phrase. So we're talking about keyword phrases and how we leverage them on YouTube, and specifically, how do we find those keywords that people are looking for so that we can title our videos and use those keyword phrases in descriptions so that we can get our message out to as many people as possible. And one of the best free tools that you can use is just like Google itself. Google itself is a great way to find some keywords. Now, there are some other tools out there, some tools that I highly recommend that I use on a regular basis. In fact, I use some of these tools on a daily basis, and they include things like Morning Fame. I've talked about that before. I talked about that last week. And vidIQ is another one. These are two tools that are both paid. They're monthly subscriptions, and they are very, very helpful when it comes to finding keyword phrases that people are actually typing into the search bar of their computer so that they can find answers. So if you're leveraging a tool like Morning Fame, for example, you can type in the topic on the first screen, type it into the first screen of Morning Fame, and then it starts to suggest some video titles that might be more appropriate to your audience or that are highly searched for. And you can start to extend those phrases out a little bit. And what Morning Fame does, by the end of your search request, it gives you a grade, A, B, C, D, a schoolyard grade, so that you know whether or not the topic that you're posting a video about is going to be highly searched for. Morning Fame costs, I think it's about $100 a year from memory. It's a weird subscription in that you have to be invited to use the tool. But luckily for you guys here today, I have got an invite for you. If you go to Morning Fame, that's morningfa.me, Morning Fame /invite /Aussie Dave. that will allow you to access this tool, Morning Fame, and you can start using that straight away. And it actually gives you the first month completely for free as well. So if you want to just leverage that, that's a great tool that I use on a very regular basis. And it's something that we're starting to use more and more at our church to find the title for messages. Another one that I highly recommend is vidIQ. And here's a link that will give you a discount on your subscription to vidIQ. It usually costs about $40 a month. This takes about 10% off that price. So you can use this URL to get a discount on vidIQ. vidIQ is another great tool that I use just about every day when it comes to searching for keyword phrases, keyword titles and descriptions, but it also helps me grade my YouTube channels and my YouTube uploads by giving me a whole bunch of extra information on top of the stuff that YouTube gives me anyway. vidIQ provides a lot more information as well. So not only is it handy on the front end when you're coming up with the titles for your videos, but it's also helpful on the back end in helping you find tags for your videos and helping you remember what you're doing when you upload, because it provides a checklist of all the things you need to do to optimize your video. So that is a great tool there. I'm going to put that URL up one more time. It's vidIQ, and if you use that URL specifically, you will get a discount on the monthly subscription. So there you go. That's a couple of places that you can find keyword phrases and words for your video titles and for the descriptions of your titles. I really want to encourage you to get on the front end of leveraging keyword titles and phrases, because when you upload a video, everything that you do around keywords is optimizing your video and giving it the best chance to be seen by it gives you the best chance to be seen by as many people as possible. So if you can get on the front end, title your video that you're uploading with a keyword phrase, and then use a keyword phrase in the title and use that keyword phrase again in the description, then you're giving your video the best chance to be seen by as many people as possible. Well, I know I just fire hosed you with a bunch of information about where you can find keywords and keyword phrases. So if you've got any questions about anything that I just shared, please leave me a question, leave me a comment. Just put your question there. If you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on my YouTube channel later on, make sure you leave a comment there as well, because I will go back and I will promise you that I will answer every question that appears in that comment section. So make sure you go ahead and do that. In fact, right now, we're moving to the section of the show where I actually take some of your questions, the questions that you've been writing into the comments section, and we discuss those and I try to answer them live for you. Raymond has written in and said, have you used / signed up for YouTube for nonprofit? If so, what has been your experience? I actually haven't, Raymond. I haven't actually done that. If anybody else has an answer to that question, if you've signed up for YouTube as a nonprofit, if you can let us know what your experience was just in the comment section, that would be absolutely fantastic, so that Raymond can get an answer to his question. This is the part of the show where we answer your questions live here on the show. So if you've got a question, make sure you write it in the comment section on Facebook, or if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook after this has gone live, make sure you leave your comments as well, because I will go back and answer every question that appears on the show. Now, during the week, I had a whole bunch of other questions come through through various posts that I did and through email, and I wanted to start working my way through some of those so that we don't have a big backlog, and I can start answering the questions live once again. Jeff has joined us. Hey, Jeff, how are you? Have you got any questions, Jeff, about YouTube? Make sure you leave it in the comment section. That would be fantastic. One of the questions that I got during the week was how to do thumbnails. What is the best practice when it comes to thumbnails? And that's actually something that I'm going to talk about next week. I'm going to do a whole show just on the do's and don'ts of thumbnails. So make sure you keep a lookout for that one. Another question that I got, and this is a question that I got via social media, but I get often whenever I'm talking to people, either through email or online or at conferences, I get the question about how do you get started on YouTube? That is such a great question. It's such an important question as well. And I understand where the hesitation for people comes from, or why that question specifically needs to be answered. Because when we look at a tool like YouTube, it can seem daunting right out of the gate. But I always encourage people, just get started, just start posting something, just start moving through the system of recording and uploading videos, going through keyword phrases to find the right title for your video, and start answering people's questions. It's such a great tool for us to use to get our message in front of more people. So don't get too caught up about the production side of things. Don't get too caught up in making everything perfect. Just start recording things. You can even do it on your smartphone and upload directly from your smartphone to YouTube. So I encourage people, don't worry about how to get started. Just get started. Just start posting and getting your message out there. And like I said earlier today, the best way to do that is to start answering the questions. Just start by answering questions that people have when it comes to your church or to your faith or to the Bible, any topic that you're interested in. Just start creating content and posting it to YouTube. Another question that I got during the week on social media was from somebody at a church who asked what content should a church post other than Sunday's message. And this is a great question. Another one that I get asked quite often is what is that content outside of the Sunday message that that churches should be posting? And I think there's a whole bunch of things. Churches, modern day churches are content creation machines. We're always doing classes. We're always doing messages. We're always doing, producing music. There's so many things that we could be doing to create content to post to YouTube. You could also take the Sunday message, maybe a 30-minute message, and cut that down to maybe 4 minutes. Maybe just pull out the key highlights of the message or the key points of the message and put those to YouTube as a 4 to 5, 6 minute message, short version of the message that you can put out there midweek. That way people can access your content in a bite-sized chunk that is extremely helpful to them, and it can answer some questions, but that shorter content can also drive people through the use of end screens and YouTube cards to the full-length message. That shortened version of the message can also go to social media. You could post that to Instagram or IGTV and start promoting your messages there as well. Testimonies. A lot of churches will do video testimonies. They're things that you can post onto your YouTube channel as well. If you've got in your church, if you've done a video that tells the story of a person's journey, maybe to your church or maybe just their life story, that's another piece of content that you could post to YouTube. There are so many different things that we can post to YouTube if we just think a little bit outside of the box. So I hope that answered some of your questions. As I keep saying, if you've got any questions at all about YouTube, make sure you leave them in the comment section, either here on Facebook or on YouTube. I will make sure that after the show, I go back and make sure that I answer every single question that comes through. I want to keep encouraging you also, even during the week, ask your questions either on Facebook or on YouTube, and I will answer them either in a comments or I will answer them on a video on my next show. I'll do that as well. Raymond has asked another question. I'll just answer that before we move on, but can YouTube serve multiple ministries with the church with one account, like having multiple channels like youth and kids? Or what is your advice on setting up a church account? Hey, Raymond, great question. Yes, I would suggest that your church has one YouTube account, and then you can serve the different ministries simply by leveraging playlists. So you might have a playlist that is Sunday messages, you might have a playlist that is students, and you can put all the student content there. You could have a men's group or a women's group or a small group playlist as well, and you put all your small group videos there. So one channel with multiple playlists is really the best way to service the whole church from one YouTube channel. That would be my advice, Raymond. I hope that was helpful. Hey, keep your questions coming. I love answering everybody's questions. Okay, so we're moving on now. It is time for the channel of the week. This is the channel that, the YouTube channel that caught my attention for whatever reason. And this, I think from memory, this could be the first Christian channel, the overtly Christian channel that I have called out. And so today my channel of the week is the Bible Project channel. I'm sure all of you have heard of this. The Bible Project is an awesome channel that posts animated explanations to all of the Bible stories and Bible concepts. It does overviews of every book of the Bible. They are superbly animated. The quality on this channel is not to be, is without question. Like, it is absolutely incredible. The show is hosted by John Collins and Tim Mackey, two Bible theologians who do a fantastic job. And this is a company that runs as a complete non-profit, and they just do some incredible work. They let churches use their content for free, so it's a great place to find resources, and not just for kids. Just because it's animated, I don't want you to think it's just kids. This is a great resource for adults. I watch this on a regular basis. It's a channel that I'm consistently watching, and it's also, I leverage the Bible Project's Bible reading plan on the YouVersion app as well. That's always super handy to have. So check out the Bible Project. I will make sure that I leave a link to the channel in the description below or in the comment section on Facebook. Make sure you check them out. And hey, I want to know, what are the channels that you like watching the most, especially if it's a Christian channel. Every year I try to do a video on my YouTube channel that is the top 10 Christian YouTube channels for that given year. I haven't actually got to it in 2020 yet, but it is coming. But you can find out some of my suggestions of the top Christian channels if you check out my YouTube channel. It's just at Aussie Dave Adamson, youtube.com/Aussie Dave Adamson. I'll leave that in the comment section as well. And if you're watching on YouTube, I will leave a link to that video right up here, leveraging a YouTube card. So make sure you check that out as well. Well, as well as doing the channel of the week, I also like to do the video of the week. This is the video that in the past 7 days has caught my attention most. And this is the one that, this is a video this week. This week's video is one that I have been talking about for a while with a bunch of different people at work because it is so fascinating. The video is actually by Selena Gomez. It's an official music video that was posted 3 months ago to the song Lose You to Love Me. Lose You to Love Me. Just a lazy 24.8 million view, 245. Just a lazy 245 million views in just 3 months. That is incredible. That alone should tell you that it is a fantastic video. But what caught my attention with this video specifically is that Selena Gomez did a music video that was shot entirely on an iPhone. That's right. She used an iPhone 11 to shoot this entire video. And for that reason alone, I would suggest that you watch it. You know, sometimes when I speak to churches, when I speak to individuals, they say, hey, I'd love to start a YouTube channel. I'd love to start doing some videos, but I just don't have the equipment that I need. Yet here is, you know, one of the most famous musicians in the world, famous singers in the world, and she used this to record her entire video, a simple smartphone, the iPhone 11 she used to shoot that video. So make sure you go and check it out. It's well worth a look just for that. It's called Lose You to Love Me. Again, 245 million views. That is absolutely incredible. Well worth having a look. If you've got any video suggestions, you know, some suggestions that some videos that caught your attention during the past 7 days, make sure you leave them in a comment so that we can all check them out. And if you've got a link, that would be even better. We want to see as many different video options as possible. So go ahead and leave us a comment with your favorite video of the week. Well, like I said at the top of the show, it is the fastest 30 minutes online. We try to cram this show with as many practical information, tips, and tricks as we possibly can. And so as a result, the 30 minutes just flies by, and it's already at that time where I've got to start wrapping the show up. I hope this was interesting for you. I hope you got a lot out of it. I want to let you know that coming up next week's show, I'm going to be talking specifically about thumbnails and the do's and don'ts of thumbnails. What are some thumbnails that work? Does having a designed thumbnail actually enhance the views on your video? Do you get more views based on the thumbnail? The short answer is yes, and I'm going to talk next week about why. You get more views from a thumbnail, why a thumbnail is so important, and even some do's and don'ts on how to design a thumbnail for your video. One of the great things about YouTube is it allows you to switch out thumbnails on all your video content. So even if you've never had a thumbnail before, you can watch next week's show, and you'll be able to design some thumbnails, and you can upload them and watch as your view count on your video goes up and to the right. As always, I like to let you guys know that if you have any questions about anything to do with YouTube or social media, you can leave a comment or you can text me. Yep, that's right. You can text me and I will answer to you personally. My number is 201-267-2156. That number again to answer any of your questions, 201-267-2156. If you text me anything, I will respond personally. I'll answer your questions and help you in any way that I can. Well, that's it. We're at the end of the show. If you've been watching on Facebook, I want to thank you so much. As I said, keep leaving your comments and your questions so that I can go back and answer them. If you've been watching on my YouTube channel, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Make sure you leave me a comment and share this video on social media. Let's help get the word out there about the value of YouTube when it comes to church. But until next week, I hope I see you next week for another episode of YouTube Your Church.